Heyo, it's Theo. Hey guys, Theonin here from Throne&Liberty. Just wanted to try and make a YouTube video explaining the new mechanics of this new Frostbreath cave dungeon. I saw some videos online, but they don't really show all the mechs. They just kind of show you how to pump through with massive DPS and whatnot. So just wanted to make a video explaining everything. So let's get into it. So first thing I'm going to make note of here before we start the dungeon is this single mirror or ice patch. There is only one in T5 and above that is currently available to be broken, unlike the regular dungeon that has three. This is important to note because that's where you're going to want to stand when the first mech comes up. The first mechanic that we need to be aware of here is the green slash mechanic. So once you reach 90%, the boss will target 3 people and give them some slash marks above their head. It essentially looks like 3 green slashes with a cross in between it. When he gives these 3 slash marks, he will then choose one of those 3 at random and throw a line of green poison across the floor. This is important because you need this line to go across the ice block, or the mirror as some people call it. You need to hit 3 lines across it to break it and create your safe space. He can target the same person 3 times, so you might just be unlucky and get the same person, or it might be one person each time. A special note here to tell who the boss is targeting. If you have the boss selected, you can see his health bar there in the middle of my screen. It says Volcanus, 85% health. To the right of it, it also shows who he is targeting. So right now he has Mank target, who is our tank holding aggro. As you're doing the green slash mechanic, you should be checking this, as this will alert you to who is going to get the slash, and that person needs to be on the ice block. As you can see here, this is the safe space we were referring to. Once you have your 3 slashes go across, it will open that spot up. He will then do a large AoE throughout the whole arena. If you are not in that safe space, you will die. As we saw Cardo die, unfortunately he did not make it. But yeah, essentially open it up, make sure everyone's in there, and then come back out and keep DPSing. As you are exiting the safe space, the boss will do another AoE stomp attack. This is noticeable by the giant red forming around him. As he lifts his left leg, he will begin the attack, and then just before he drops it down, that's when you should jump to avoid damage. Pretty straightforward, but just something to be aware of. The next mech that we are concerned with is this poison spit mechanic. Essentially what happens here is the boss will target the farthest player from him, and he will do a series of 3 fury attacks towards that player. You need to block all 3 of these to avoid taking damage. When you hit the block, you will notice my character receives a poison stack on them. These stacks must be cleansed off. This can be done by yourself or by a friendly player. But essentially the pattern here is hit your block. It does not have to be perfect. It can be a defense. Just make sure you block it, cleanse yourself, block a second time, cleanse again, block a third time, cleanse again. You will notice each time you block, it sends a projectile back towards the boss, pushing him back a little bit. This is important for the next upcoming mech, which is the shield mech, and I'll just let that play through. So as you can see here, this is the shield mech. The boss will get a shield around him. Now, the health of the shield is determined by hitting your blocks and cleansing yourself in the previous mech. As you can see on his health bar right now, the shield is very minuscule and very easy for us to break. If you do not hit your blocks and you do not cleanse yourself, it gives the boss a buff, which increases his shield. It can get very large and essentially unable to be broken. If you do not break his shield, he will wipe the group. So Right here, we can see it's kind of a mech, not really a mech, but just something to be aware of. At certain intervals in this fight, the boss will summon green poison puddles underneath every player. These do hurt, especially if you stack, you will eat the damage of all of them. The boss summons them in sets of 3, so when you know they're spawning, just be on the move. They're very easy to avoid, but just make sure you count out 3 of them, and then you're free to go back to doing your normal rotations. Right here, the boss does a slam. You will notice it does drop you to the floor and prone. I'm not sure exactly on this mech, but as far as we can tell, you do not want to stand up. He has a follow-up attack that will do basically a whirlwind around him. The way we found to avoid this is to just stay prone and not stand up. After the roll dodge that we hit there, or the wrath attack, you will notice all the players get a blue arrow above their head. The boss will give an arrow to each person, but he will only target one of them. As you can see on screen now, next to the boss's health bar, he is currently targeting myself, the Onin. The boss will jump to me and do an AoE attack on the ground as outlined in the red. This is important because it is at this point that we want to try to flip over one of these platforms or mirrors or coins, whatever you want to call them. So what we're doing right now is we are aligning ourselves between 2 of these points so that when the boss jumps, he will potentially flip over one of the 2 to our left or to our right. Every round or every time you start the dungeon, there are 2 coins that can be flipped over. It is up to you to find them. As you can see in this clip, we did not flip those over, so I am now heading to a different pin for the next set of jumps where we can check an additional 2 platforms. The next mech here is what we call bomb mech. Essentially what the boss does is he will target 3 players and give them a bomb each. The bombs are numbered, so there is a 1, a 2, and a 3 on your head. The bombs have a filler on them, meaning the icon itself will fill from the bottom to the top. When you reach the top of that icon, that bomb will plant itself or drop on the ground wherever you are standing, creating a small green AoE. Now that first AoE will pulse, and then it will grow bigger, and then grow bigger another time. This is important because you cannot stack the bombs on each other, because the first bomb will go off first, and then the second and the third. And by the time the first bomb goes off, number 3 will not have dropped his bomb yet, so you will essentially kill each other by stacking. This means you need to separate the bombs, and as soon as your bomb goes off and drops, you need to run away from that area before it grows bigger and encompasses you. As you can see here, after the bomb mech, the boss will go into a second jump. All the players will again receive a blue arrow. The boss will target someone. This time again, it was myself. He will then jump towards that person. Again, we align ourselves between the 2 platforms, and this time we found the one that was able to be flipped. You will hear the auditory sound, as well as the coin or the mirror itself will flip over, opening up a new ice patch to be broken. And that is the entirety of the mechanics. Essentially from here on out, it is just rinse and repeat. So you get the green slashes, you have people line up on the ice as he throws it across to break it open. After the 3 swipes, you get in the safe spot, wait for the attack, come back out. Then the farthest person will do the 3 blocks, cleanse themselves, break the shield, DPS the boss, hit your roll dodges, hit your jumps, etc. Rinse and repeat. One side note here about the coins. Kudos to those of you paying attention, might have caught this. As you noted in the past, we check 2 coins every time because we put the boss in between them. So his AoE hits 2 coins. If neither of them flip, then that means those 2 are not able to flip. And then we go to 2 separate coins and we flip those. So in this visual on screen now, we would, for example, go between pin 1 to check those 2. And then if those 2 do not flip, we would then go to pin 4, likely to check 2 on the other side. That being said, in this dungeon run, we checked between pin 2 and then between pin 4. So we essentially checked 4 out of the 5. Neither of them flipped, so we were going to align on 5 here to check the remaining coin. This one should have flipped. Unfortunately, we didn't actually get to check it.